Hello everybody, how are you doing today? My name is ZachTG, and today we are going to start the Chapter 4 trial of the Danganronpa blind playthrough. Yeah, of course, during the trial, it seems like there is a locked room mystery that, well, we still have not really figured out. Though we have 3 possible suspects so far. Yeah, 3 suspects are Yasuhiro Hagakure, who is definitely the most suspicious one of the lot so far, due to most of the evidence favoring him as the culprit. Then, of course, we have Byakuya Togami. None of the evidence really seems to connect to him, so it's not really that suspicious to me at all, most likely. But maybe he might be the actual killer, who knows? He just might have gotten rid of it all. And of course, last we have Toko Fukawa. Now there is a piece of evidence implementing her as a culprit. However, since it's very likely to have been faked or forged, yeah, I really don't think she really had that major part in it. But we'll see what happens when we go through the trial. So, let's see how it goes. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery! What the? Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive.
Yes, indeed!
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy. Hi, Gimmick. How you doing?
Well?
I'm just starting the Chapter 4 trial. And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes,
For
indeed!
example, if you have 100 friends.
He's right. That does make it seem sad.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. Okay, please stop with the emoticons. It's really getting distracting a bit. What the hell was that? Oh, thank you, Enrico, for hosting my stream.
I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me!
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean!
I did murder anyone.
Yeah, you're definitely acting suspicious. Yeah, I am completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever.
Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there could be no doubt. One of us is the culprit.
The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us? Alright, well, we'll find out. Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way toward the elevator. But with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close, and felt it begin its sinister descent. Oh, thank you, Gimmick, for hosting the stream! The elevator lowered, uttering its all-too-familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower. And as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? Okay, now we're following an Egyptian theme here for the courtroom.
This is kind of
Thanks, Gimmick. That's so few. Oh, you must be so lonely. You say that like it's not your fault we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or your school life come to an end completely?
Now then,
are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seat. And so, the curtain opens for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Okay, now it's time to actually start the trial. Yeah, I got 2 more skill points. However, it's not enough to increase the vocabulary skill, so I guess that's it with the skills, and I'm pretty much aware of the truth bullets. So, it's now time to start the class trial. All rise!
let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Doesn't that sound familiar? That's exactly like the last trial, sort of, and look how well that turned out at the start.
Whoa! Deja vu!
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Hina seems really sure that one of those 3 is the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that. Well, because Sakura sent them a note telling them to come there. Yeah, always a count. That has to be the reason.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
What?
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense. That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
Nope, that's not the only reason.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Thus giving them the opportunity.
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those 3 killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all 3 of them. Then does that mean one of them did it? Oh, immediately another non-stop debate. Well, we're suspecting Hiro.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all 3 of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
Can't disprove it.
I didn't either.
Can't disprove it.
Yeah, same here!
Then disprove it.
No, that's wrong. Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's...
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
Yeah, so how did you get your hands on that wrapper?
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but
When?
she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
But what Hiro said can't be right. Because Sakura could only have gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know that is that when Sakura got the candy, I think she only got it after the nurse office incident.
I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office.
Yeah.
So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was, Oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all! I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me!
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious!
Paco and the Cow Black.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility! You're the real culprit! I even have proof!
Huh? Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message!
Are you talking about the message indicating Toko? Because when did he notice it? Honestly, when did he notice it? What would the shining message even be?
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
It's easily likely she's been framed.
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Yeah, when?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
Liar, liar.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the message with the dying message, it was on the magazine shelf upside down.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense!
How could you have possibly seen Toko's, the dying message implicating Toko if there was no possible opportunity for you to see it before? There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts what Hiro told us. Another non-stop debate. Okay.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
Really?
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun.
Maybe.
I found the magazine tucked away
no.
on the magazine shelf.
Magazine shelf.
When I pulled it out, I saw her
I think
final
that's it.
words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
He said he saw the dying message when he first found the body. But at that time, where was the magazine? On the shelf.
I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
No, that's wrong!
Nope.
When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Yeah, when did you see the message?
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part! Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre
What?
left us, and we know who the killer is! Toko!
Vienna sausage. What?
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
He's just trying to confuse us.
As he usually does.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah, she couldn't have written the message.
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message.
Not me.
100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Without a doubt. No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. Really, we're starting with a bullet time battle already. Okay.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof.
Here's the
This should
proof.
prove it.
Gotcha.
I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Well, explain it, Hiro. Did you or did you not write the message?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
He admits it.
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
Is he really admitting it that easily? I don't think there's any way the trial would end that quickly, especially on Chapter 4. You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
Oh, it's Yoshihiro.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain, and until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What will you have to do after writing the message? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, the magazine was hidden. Yeah, that just really does not make sense.
I got it! That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh. Well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Yeah.
Then, he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Someone who wouldn't like what had been written. There's only one choice. Well, the person who was actually accused, Toko.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Was he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it!
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious! That's just... I don't believe it!
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. Yeah, I'm surprised. So, maybe Toko really did do it. And I have to prove that. Alright, time for another non-stop debate. Hey, possibly the examination summary about her being
I didn't
only
want
being hit
to.
twice.
I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby. And I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once, is that right?
Yeah, just once.
Yep.
No,
Except
that's wrong.
that she was hit twice. So that proves another attacker was there.
If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on! How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves.
Yeah, 2 are missing.
There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle.
Where's the 6?
But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, It should become clear.
Well, they were depicting chess pieces. Looks like the correlation between the Monokuma bottles. I feel like it's starting to become clear. That connection must be, it's the object that the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. So it's gotta be the chess pieces. Yep. I don't know why every Hangman's Gambit is easy, except for the second one. Where are you, P? Where are you, P? There you are. There we go. Chess piece.
Now I understand. That's it! The chess pieces! Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was
A knight.
the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
Where the heck is the queen?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah! Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
Not really.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, then the bottle that was missing, it was broken. Because obviously it was used to hit Sakura.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle. And the evidence that proves that is... Kyoko and I figured it out before. Oh, Kyoko did an experiment and proved that there were parts of the second bottle within the broken bits of the first.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is... there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime.
Yep.
But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces.
Well, it's hard to get to all the pieces of one bottle from 2.
Which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
To hide the trace that it even exists.
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by the second attacker. Bowling aficionados, really.
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Yeah.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Oh, you just remembered something?
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
What? You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
Where did Toko go?
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
The locker.
What? Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Whoa. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. And I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. A new element has been added to bullet time. Oh, really? There's a second one. We never had more than one bullet time battle before. And we're on trial number 4. Why would they still giving us tutorials? Fine, what's the new element? So far, you've probably been pressing the triangle button during your final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're going to have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Excuse me? Now you'll have to choose the proper truth bullet to use during your coup de grace. You'll select it the same way as during the non-stop debate. Simply press the L1 button. Oh boy. Also, like the debate, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, you'll have fewer bullets to choose from. But for educational purposes, we're going to pretend you're set to mean regardless. Just this once, okay? Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game now. Go you. Oh, now I'm halfway through the game? So it's probably going to be a 22-parter, isn't it? Well then, good luck and have fun.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! That's enough!
The locker!
This should prove it.
I can't believe I was almost done with her as soon as she
Did
decided
you
to
know
do
someone left a handprint behind on the
the
inside of the
concentration.
locker?
I'm surprised that I'm almost done with her when she managed to do the concentration attack. Or the negative attack, whatever.
They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Straight up again.
So if she says she probably killed her, that probably meant Genocide Jill probably did it, most likely.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Genocide Jill.
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on, so I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around,
Oh my goodness.
there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me.
Yeah, I can understand why you're frightened by that face.
When I saw all that blood, I fainted. Right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Genocide Jill. Her? You mean? Yep. Genocide Jill. Hello.
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all!
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible!
Oh, she is a serial killer after all.
No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Cause normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem!
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on! That's... you know... But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre! So that's good!
So that's good. Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hero on that one.
What's wrong? Come on everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No, she's kind of really pushing forward to the stretch of that vote. Is there something suspicious with you, Hina?
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... Still don't know. If he's saying it's not Toko, then what?
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me.
Okay, let me just check the bullets. Let's see. Okay, traces of blood were in the mouth. No injury.
I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
So it's either the
You were taken by
status
surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood.
or the
And you
powder.
smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
Wait, what? So if the second shot from Toko is what killed Sakura, then the problem is, where did Sakura die? It was, yeah, in
I
the
was
chair,
just
not
sleeping
in front
peacefully.
of the magazine
And all
rack.
of a sudden, Sakura was. I remember waking up.
You were taken by surprise when you
smashed her.
You got it!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
Nope,
No, that's wrong.
she died in the chair. And I doubt you can move her huge body.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
Yeah, that has to be it. The evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf. Well, the magazine shelf bloodstain has to be it.
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained.
Yeah, that's still the biggest piece of the puzzle, and I still have no idea what's the deal with the locked room.
Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
Not really.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because, well, we saw it for myself. We saw it through the window. The locker was clearly open and nobody was in it.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
Yeah.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
I'm thinking that since she vomited blood, I think that some type of poison was used to kill her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? If there's another possible explanation, maybe it's poison, for instance? Okay, Monokuma Bao 4 seems the most suspicious to me, other
What
than the
was
yellow
it that
powder.
killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Well,
No,
talking about the
wrong.
fact that she vomited blood has to mean something.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
Nope.
If that's all it was, The file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Yep.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
What is impossible, Oi?
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
That's because you didn't know where to look.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
In shelving unit A, I believe.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
The bottle of poison Byakuya just showed up. I'm sure I know where he got it. It was on the same shelf as all the supplements. I'm positive. Well, they're basically telling us right now it's Section A.
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
What? Byakuya, what the heck are you doing? I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips, and...
Huh? Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was stand there and watch. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
I think you're missing the point, Joe.
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
What? That was found in the poison?
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, which would mean that conversely, the poison must have been in... Could it be that container we found right by the door? The protein, drink. Come on, R. Oh, okay, now they're moving around real crazy like. Protein. Get out of the way, I. Hey, D, where are you, D? Gotcha.
Now I understand.
Yeah, why is only the second trial, Hangman's Gambit, the one that's just so confusing
Poison.
a bit?
Must have been poured into the protein can.
So you did not even get a single hint for the second trial one. I think it would have made more sense if it was actually disorder. I mean, if they clearly had enough length for disorder.
If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene. Yeah, the protein drink.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The evidence that shows who switched them. It must be what we found in front of the shelf. Yeah, the footprints in the powder.
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison.
Wouldn't it be make more sense for the killer to just swap the protein bottle and the poison, you know, a little bit before the murder, even before the people visited the rec room? That way they could make an alibi.
The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
What?
The footprints. They're mine.
Oh, now you're admitting it. Okay.
Hina?
I knew there was something suspicious about her just trying to rush for the verdict.
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then Ogre's killer was...
Yep, I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers, huh? The only people wearing sneakers here are... Oh, do I really have to answer it? Hina's obviously gotta be one of the answers. And, well, since I'm in every answer, it has to be Makoto and Hina.
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
Well, these footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began.
Yeah, rushing for the vote.
You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us.
I just don't know. I just can't see Hina doing this, honestly. I just really can't.
I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
Well,
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink.
was that after the 2 attacks?
But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it. All at once. And then...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Yeah, the locked room.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Yeah, how did Hina get out?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well... that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Yeah, maybe you didn't do it after all.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just... nervous. So... I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah. That's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
Okay.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them.
You directly moved from Section C to Section A. Is that it?
Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right?
Yeah, Section C then directly moved to Section A. Is that right?
Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
Then there's obviously a huge problem. But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
Especially if it's in a non-stop debate format.
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Obviously, we're talking about the footprints in the powder. That's what it's leading up to.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
I'm not rushing it this time. I'm just trying to observe the weak points. And I think I see one that's relevant. In the chem lab, where were the footprints? And what direction were they facing? Those facts clearly contradict what Hina just told us.
First I went to that's when I grabbed the... And you spilled some of the... Yeah.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C...
Nope.
No, it's wrong.
Because the footprints were only in Section A.
You said you went to get the poison from Section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
After she said she didn't look at the footprints?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I did notice I left a footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well...
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well... You see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
I'm surprised you're the one who's the most nervous, Byakuya.
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
What?
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
A piece of glass? Wait a minute. Did that piece of glass come from the rec room door? Then the bottles were switched after I broke the door open?
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of light blue glass Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something the same shade of blue. The rec room window.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
How?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was it? Where was it? Okay, and now I see another mistake. Wait, where was it the bottle of poison should have been? Okay, maybe it's not a mistake after all. Maybe it's just weird wording. Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? Okay, saying it out loud, I think it's not really a mistake after all. It's just weird wording. According to what Hina told us, it was supposed to be on section A of the shelf. Yeah, section A.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
Yeah.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Just answer the question already.
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
And that's strange.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was opened. Now I'm surprised Byakuya is really losing it. I'm really surprised. He's really losing it. Oh, obviously the empty protein drink has to be the truthful I need.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room
Oh, I
was
like
unlocked,
that.
it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible! It had to have been in there the whole time!
Why?
It had to be! It was in there before the wreck.
Nope, not before.
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course! It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can.
Yeah, some of them were found underneath the can.
We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, Earlier, when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
How'd your old medicine taste, Kuya?
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
Yeah, but that's strange. I mean, how could Sakura have ingested the poison then? If there was only the bottle, like the poison bottle. She would have to known she would be drinking it. Oh my goodness, I think I just realized who killed... I just realized who killed her.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Yeah, so we're basically saying that she committed suicide.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already! Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
Yeah.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought to the rec room. It had to have been... Well, who got the poison got to the rec room. I don't think it's Hina at all. I think the fact that there was yellow powder found on Sakura's foot mean that she had to have gotten the poison.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Because of the yellow powder found in her foot. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need. Now I have to hit Hina with it. I have to make her accept it. Are you kidding me? Another bullet time battle? 3?
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're
Oh,
wrong!
I'm surprised she didn't activate her special power.
Do you have any kind of
that's
proof
yellow power.
Sakura took this
That's
shit?
yellow powder. I'm surprised she didn't activate her Nega attack or whatever that was.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it?
Yep.
So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place?
Didn't we already establish it earlier?
The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
Yeah, quit lying to yourself. The one that sold Sakura, the connection between Sakura and the poison, the unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. And the person who killed Sakura has to be Sakura herself.
Here's my answer!
That's the only logical explanation.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
So that explains the locked room mystery.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because, of course, Sakura wanted to create the locked room.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door.
Yeah.
Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else. But your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
Yep.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room...
I got everyone.
Oh, ogre!
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
Sakura's been killed. I see.
While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body.
Yeah.
The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right.
What?
We have to end this properly.
Oh, yes, we have to end it properly with the closing argument. Oh, yes, this is always a good part of the trial. Closing argument, begin. Alright. So, Act 1, Sakura was sending the notes to the three people. Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. Alright, so let's see what pictures we got this time. I don't see any obvious fakes this time. Okay, then Act 2 begins. Toko entered the rec room first. Toko got to the rec room early and hid somewhere. Yeah, in a locker. It could be this one. Oh, but wait, there's also this picture. Oh, crud. Which one shows it better? Well, I think this one clearly shows the locker, so I pretty much have to pick this one just because it clearly shows the locker. And then she watched Sayaka. Then Act 3, Hiro comes. She offers him a piece of candy. Okay, well there's a fake right there. And Hiro got so surprised by her reaction that I thought, it's kill or be killed. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, there's another fake right there. And Hiro attacked her with the knife bottle. I mean, sorry, the night Monokuma bottle. Panicked, he decides to frame someone. Toko. And then immediately flees the scene. Unaware that Toko watched the whole thing. At that point, Toko, who was in the locker, decides to get out of the locker, discovers the note, and put it back in the magazine rack. Upside down, I might add. However, Sakura actually got up, Toko saw her scary face, and fainted. At that point, every time she faints or sneezes, she switches personalities. In this case, switches to Genocide Jack. And because of Genocide Joe's murderous rage, she attacks Sakura with the queen bottle. Well, we can obviously see the little queen right here. And trying to disguise her involvement in the murder, she cleaned up the best she could, removing the queen figurine and some of the broken shards. And she ran off. Act 5. Sakura is still alive. And wonders, what can she do now? Well, she has a ball of poison. Might as well commit suicide. Then Act 6, the discovery of the body, what looks like. Okay, why is Hina covered... Why is Hina all shadowy like that? I thought we were trying to prove she isn't the killer. Anyway, we discovered... the body was inside the rec room. So I broke the window to get in and discover the body. However, the culprit over here, Hina, or, well, the shadowy figure Hina, couldn't believe what Sakura had done and thought to switch the bottles. So she took the poison bottle, what it looks like, and swapped it for the protein powder. Yeah, I think this all makes sense here. I'm still worried about this one and this one, these two, because those two are so similar. I just hope I'm right on this.
The killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked.
I'm most likely thinking that she was trying to confess to the people that she's gonna end her life, most likely.
Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes.
I can understand why Toko got frightened of her face.
She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort
is you, Hina.
Was you, Hina.
Gotcha.
That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well...
Because I'm better than you in every way.
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
I don't think I got hit once. When did I lose points? Those two? When did I lose points during those two? Okay, got an A, 104 medals.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point.
Okay, I didn't lose any health during that because I got the trophy for that. Yeah, so then, what did cause me to lose those points? Did I simply take too long?
Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
And we all had to vote Sakura. So that means there won't be an execution, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
My entire existence!
Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
So that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But there's still one thing I don't understand.
Come on.
Hina, why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to life, you would have died along with the rest of us.
What are you thinking?
And yet why did you do that?
Don't be mean!
Yeah, we almost died here.
What
Almost
is
died
this?
there.
Because that's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died, it's because all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. So that's why
You should have been the one to die!
I couldn't let her be the only one that died.
What?
You don't mean you're gonna take us all with you? We have to atone for our sins. Because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We all have to pay for our crimes.
Oh, serious? That's...
What is
You
this?
still don't understand? Then let me explain. Do you realize just how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this. And she even took the suicide note? Or did Sakura give it to her in the nurse's office? Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. I found it on the ground in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. A suicide note? Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me.
No forgiveness!
You tried to protect me, but because of me,
I can't forgive this!
my closest friend got hurt. Sakura,
I...
because of me, my friends are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility. Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. You asked to meet with those three? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is? Don't worry. I just want to talk to them.
But,
Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even you...
Hina.
Please, don't think of things like that. They're not my enemy.
They're friends.
Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to all of us. And yet...
Why?
And yet... You trampled all over her feelings, and then you did the unthinkable.
No, that was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying?
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you, and you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her. Do you have any idea how desperate she was seeing you act like that? That's worse suicide no means. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
why?
That's how far you pushed her. Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina.
Hina, you came. Wait right there, I'll help you out.
Hina.
Huh?
I'm so glad I got to meet you. What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
I have a favor to ask.
Huh?
A favor?
Some protein.
I'd like some protein. Could I ask you to? Yeah, you got it. Just hang on, I'll be right back. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she'd asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder, and that's when I realized. I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could. But by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura!
Please!
Let me in! Please, open the door!
Why?
Why?
Why did she have to die? She had weaknesses, just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet, you
Why?
all blamed her. I tried to protect her, and I suffered for it. And that just added to the weight she had to carry. And I didn't even realize it. Hina, we killed her. All of us. We pushed her into a corner. And we murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live.
And that's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial.
Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of her regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey! Hey!
I'm sorry to interrupt right when you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but
Hey!
it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What is this?
What did you say? Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? your own opinion on what her suicide note meant.
What are you saying?
Of course I know what she was thinking. It was hurting me.
In other words,
Well, what I'm really trying to say is,
yes, indeed.
don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was really like this?
What the heck?
What is that?
Of course.
Isn't it obvious?
Yep.
A suicide note. Sakura's suicide note. What? But Hina already...
Too bad.
Oh, I wrote that one. It was on me, baby.
It's true.
This is the one Sakura addressed to Hina and put in her room.
Huh?
What? Then... You lied to me? Oh, don't say
Unbelievable.
lie. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit.
Well now,
I
well
can't
now,
help
well
it
now,
if
well
you totally
now.
took my little scribbles at face value. It didn't even have Sakura's signature on it.
You little jerk Monokuma, just when I thought you couldn't be hated even more.
You filthy little... I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything.
Pung,
Did
pung.
I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around.
Phew.
Heck, even if the will had been factored in, it still would have been between you guys.
Shing.
So what's the problem? This is all part of the protection process. Okay, and scene cut.
And?
So then, what did she write in her real suicide note?
What are you gonna do?
I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it using my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice.
Hey, hey.
But you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first place?
But hold
And
on.
isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is just so final, you know. You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. Gives me the willies.
Enough already.
Could you get on with it, please?
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
okay, jeez. Talk about buzzkill. Alright, here we go. Ahem. My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
Okay, so should I continue as Sakura or continue as Monokuma? I think I'll continue as Sakura.
It was our first night in this strange school that the mastermind came to see me.
You see, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched over it for over 300 years.
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch, so even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the mastermind.
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stalemate.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart. The mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. And more than anything,
I cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
that's how I came to feel.
So that's why Sakura...
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
The Of course, because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to all of you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic. Or just moronic.
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me.
So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with just me accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The Mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to get this situation under control. And to fulfill that obligation, I decided to do as the Mastermind has commanded. I will do as I was told, and commit murder.
But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself.
If the Mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up my life.
If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
Then, Sakura didn't feel concerned. She didn't die hating us.
No way!
You want to stop us from fighting? To protect us?
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much, no normal person could do that.
However,
It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
And the reason I didn't tell you any of this, because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry. But please don't be sad. If I can thwart the Mastermind's plans, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then, they'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But
This is... I didn't understand how she felt. Not at all. I thought we were close and still...
What are you gonna do?
In the end, all her meddling was like totally pointless. She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one.
too bad.
She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Now then, the next victim has been decided. What? What next victim? There was no culprit in that case. Only Sakura, and she already died. What do you mean, next victim? Nobody here blames anyone.
Huh?
Huh? First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste.
Say what?
Because she made us remember. We're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
You know?
Damn straight. This is all because of our misplaced hatred.
Well?
I don't blame her. I can't blame her. And nobody can blame Hina either.
What? Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered. Because the one we need to destroy is you. Nobody else.
What? What do you want?
That's not how this is supposed to go.
How strange.
But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you. Remember?
Hey!
Your enemy is each other.
He's absolutely right about that.
Phew!
Ah, lovely Byakuya. You understand, don't you?
This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There could be no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I am bowing out of the game.
Huh?
Naturally.
Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, it would appear the others have cast aside their fear for this game.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Participate in a game which has lost that sense of excitement. Which is why I will no longer be participating here.
What? What's going on here?
Now I have only one thing to look forward to.
It's all clear.
That is to heap the harshest possible punishment onto the one who thinks they can control me.
Byakuya, does this mean...
Don't misunderstand. I haven't been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism that's what you're thinking.
Wherever Master goes, I go. And if the mastermind turns out to be a guy, maybe I can catch on fire. Everyone.
Hey,
Well, now can you say that Sakura's death had no meaning? How boring. But nothing good can come of this. I'm still gonna be the one having the fun time.
What the heck?
The fun time?
Anyway, let's forget about that good-for-nothing backstabber and get back on track.
You want me to punish
It's the
you
moment
guys?
you've all been waiting for! Punishment time!
What?
Wait, but Sakura was technically the killer, right? And she's dead. You're not gonna...
But...
Is it me?
Wrong!
Oh, heavens no! Just because the Blackened is dead doesn't mean I can just sub in whatever old student I want. Didn't I tell you? I'm very particular about the bear times 1 rule.
Listen up!
When I spend so much time preparing my special punishment, it'd be a shame to let it go to waste. So, for my special punishment, I prepared a special guest. A special guest?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Who's getting punished? Alter Ego? What? How? How? What? A Metcap? Did Capcom have any involvement in this? Excavator Destroyer. Oh my goodness. You!
You suck, man! You turned me into a mangled hunk of junk!
Phew!
Phew! That really took it out of me. Maybe I'll go grill up and flay the chicken. After all, they say for post-workout grub, chicken's where it's at, and I'm all about the grilled goodness. Fried, boiled, give me a break. The color, the smell, the succulence, grilled is where it's at.
So,
I realize how dangerous it could be, but still, I have to do this.
but
I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but
still.
when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true. So, it's okay. If it's for the sake of if it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. Alter Ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave way to raw anger. The anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled up through my body, quickly overflowing and shooting out of my mouth. How dare you! That was my friend! How dare you kill him!
What's the matter?
Huh? You are friends with a laptop? That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball? Shut the hell up! He wasn't just a laptop. He was my friend. And you killed him. Is this what you call animism? Where soul dwells within all of things, even like laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got my way. It was trying to find things out all sneaky.
Just as I thought.
So, you finally noticed him.
Actually,
Finally? No. I knew about it from the very beginning. I knew Shihiro was doing something with the laptop, and I knew you were using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was all gonna play out from the start. What?
What are you
You
thinking?
knew, and you were still cocky enough to let us take the plunge?
yep.
Well, I mean, the data in that laptop, it was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you.
Phew.
Or maybe more like a reward, in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult.
Hey,
Of course, I didn't care if you got access to that. But sneaking into the network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, reformatting.
I want to be able to help.
I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so that we can all get out of here. Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help, at the risk of his own life. And for that, he was killed. Yeah, the punishment time has made me feel a billion times better.
very
Experiencing
nice.
a meaningless death is so soothing. It makes me remember that every low can get even lower. No, his death wasn't meaningless either. Everybody who's died so far, the deaths of each and every one of our friends, they all make us stronger. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Holy moly, you're super mad. Like, just unreasonably upset.
Well,
Okay, time to bring things to a close. Oh, but before that,
uh-huh.
I need to read the postscript.
What?
Postscript?
Yep.
Yeah, there's still a bit more left of Sakura's note.
Huh?
Huh? Oh, do I have your attention? Okay then, here we go.
Hello.
Prepare your ears for the dulcest tones of yours truly. One other thing, Hina. There's something I'd like you to tell the others. Hopefully it will act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of this school. What? A clue?
Hina.
I've spoken with the mastermind off and on the whole time I've been there. And so, I've learned one thing. Which is, the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is... Oopsie daisy, that was a close one. Another word and we would have been hip deep in spoiler territory.
Too bad.
Okay, I don't want to ruin the surprise. So, book club is dismissed for today.
What? You can't just stop at the most important bit.
It makes your brain rumble and tumble, huh? It makes you so mad you don't even frickin' know, huh?
You
That's
guys?
the whole point, stupid. It's to get back at all of you for hardening your resolve. Fine, but at least the first note. Like I ever let any of you greaseballs have it.
Huh?
Sucks for you, loser. Wait, what's this?
What?
What is it now?
What?
There's one last line in the note. Let me just say this to the mastermind. I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you, you bastard. No matter what. And that's seriously it. Wow! What a stubborn loser, huh? She won't lay down and die? She'll fight you? Well, whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say?
Well?
Okay, I'm out of here. You guys should try to get some rest, you know. And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach this school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Can you really cut free from the regrets of the outside world? Think about that. Think long. Think hard. Those were his parting words to us before disappearing. And I think this might be a good call to stop the stream for today. So, thank you all for watching. And I hope you have a good day/night. Until the next stream where we'll start Chapter 5, fare thee well. Good night, everybody.